I'm joined by University of Central Oklahoma wide receiver Bryceton Williams. Bryceton, thank you for taking time this afternoon to come on and talk to me. Could you start by telling the viewers and listeners a little bit about yourself?
Hey, I'm Bryceton Williams. Graduated from Mangum High School. Went there my senior year. Was in Nacogdoches High School for freshman through my junior year, right around Christmas break, and then that's when I came up to Oklahoma. I play wide receiver for UCO, and I got here last fall, so I redshirted, and this is gonna be my first year playing and stuff.
Now, your teammate Kellen Culberson, he played in Nacogdoches with Stephen F. Austin. Now, he informed me that the town was very dry, very dull. Would that be an accurate statement?
Yeah, I feel like that's what you hear from most people that come out of NAC, just because it's kind of a town where everyone grows up at, and they just spend all their time there, and it's kind of one of those small town things. It's not too big there, but SFA and like the college is like the big thing in that town. It's kind of a college town. Everywhere you go, you see SFA this, SFA that. And yeah, that's the main attraction there is school.
And playing high school football in Texas, because everybody knows high school football in Texas is like a big deal. It's a way of life. So what was that experience like?
I had a great time up here for my senior year, but I always say, like, I'm glad I was where I at for as long as I was. It was like a big difference than playing up here. And then Mangum, it's real small. So, and I was playing at 5A, and so I wasn't used to a lot of the things that I was seeing on the football field when I got here. But Texas football is different. It's kind of like we were getting ready for college from like middle school, I feel like, because that's when I started playing. I played from 7th grade to 8th grade, and we lifted all the time, and we had schedules we had to follow and stuff like that. So yeah, it was pretty serious.
And when you got to Mangum, I guess because I mean obviously there was a culture shock going from Texas high school football to Oklahoma high school football, but like what was that adjustment period like?
Well, I say the good thing was when I got to Mangum, Coach Powers, who he played here at UCO too. He played receiver up here a few years back. He's a young coach, and he was kind of like the best thing that happened to Mangum, because he was a guy that understood like recruiting and how to play at a college level, and his plays were real good. We weren't in a triple option or nothing. He ran a spread offense, and he made sure like I adjusted. I learned a lot of stuff from him that I didn't learn in Texas, which was a big surprise. But like playing wise and stuff, it was a lot different. Like in Texas, you're used to seeing like huge freshmen, or like just crazy grown men like freshmen, and then up here it's kind of like it's not really the same. Like it's like kids kind of just develop different, I guess. I don't know if it's the lifting at a young age and workouts, or I don't know, but I mean, there's a lot of good players I played against though in Oklahoma. A lot of good talent through this state. I say it's a slept-on state for football, like big time.
Now you mentioned that you were able to learn things under Coach Powers that you hadn't learned before. So like what was probably the biggest thing that you learned from him?
The biggest thing would be making a Twitter. I didn't have a Twitter until I got to Oklahoma, because I didn't really know how important it was for football or nothing. My coaches in Texas were a little older, but so I guess they weren't like hip to it or nothing. But when I made a Twitter, that's whenever I started kind of getting attention and getting like offers and stuff. I just posted my first game highlights, and I started talking to a lot of people after that. So it was mainly like the whole how recruiting kind of worked, because I started football a little late. I started in 8th grade, and I really was just playing just to play it. And then I just kept growing and was always good at it and athletic and stuff. But I never really just saw myself playing football really at all. And yeah, he kind of, whenever I met him, I don't know, it was just kind of like I was more mature and stuff. And he made me make it like a big deal. And I'm glad he did, because I love it.
Now you mentioned that you came to football late, so you're like a basketball guy mainly beforehand.
Nah, I wasn't a sports guy at all. I just was a regular kid. Just went outside and played. I mean, I grew up in South Dallas until I was like 12. So it wasn't just like the best place to be at. And there wasn't, I don't know, it's just compared to everywhere else I've lived, sports weren't like just the biggest thing the neighborhood I was at. Like we played some sports outside and stuff. We just run around tackling each other really or something like that. But I didn't play really anything until I was always like fast and stuff, but I didn't play anything until like middle school.
So then what made you decide to give football a shot?
It was I was on I think Facebook and I was like that was right before eighth grade started, so it was in the summer, and I saw a highlight tape of Sean Taylor, and he was going crazy, just knocking people over and catching picks. I don't know. I watched the whole thing. It was like 10 minutes. I think it was on his birthday, like because he passed and stuff. So I think they posted a real long highlight tape for his birthday, and then after that, I was just like, dang. I remember we played. You know, like when you got the football, you run around and you just get tackled. You throw the ball in the air, then the next person gets it, runs around and gets tackled. That's what we played as kids. So I was always like, it was always fun to tackle people, but watching him really made me want to play football. And that was my first position I played was safety. I didn't really care about anything else or like touchdowns or nothing. I just told the coach that I wanted to play safety, and I really just wanted to tackle people.
So now when you first started playing organized football, like what I mean, was there like a steep adjustment period for you, or would you say it was more of just like you naturally picked it up?
Well, the main thing that happened, I think, was around the time I decided I wanted to play football. I had like my big growth spurt, which was like seventh grade. I was probably like I was short. I was like I wouldn't consider tall in my age group. Like I was shorter than a lot of the kids in my grade. And then out of nowhere, I guess that summer I grew. I was like probably like 5'4" in seventh grade, and then I grew to like 5'11", so almost 6 feet. And so I probably just getting used to and learning how to do certain things on the field with the body I was in because I grew so quick. That growth spurt happened within like 2 months. So it was just like, I don't know, it was kind of hard at first, but I mean, I just got the ball in my hand and I was fast and stuff. So, I mean, catching, they had to show me how to do my hands certain ways and stuff like that. So you could tell I was new, but I also kind of started off pretty good. I was athletic and stuff. So that's all I guess it took in seventh grade.
And with the growth spurt, because you said that you grew 7 inches. So like now what, I mean, because that's got to be tough, I imagine, going from, like you said, 5'4" to now almost 6 foot. So like, what was that process like of kind of learning your body all over again in a way?
Well, it was the main thing was I had a lot of I got like a slight bend in my spine from the growing so quick. So it was like mild scoliosis, and the doctor said I was gonna grow into it and stuff, which I did. It's gone now, but it was at the time hurting me, and I had Oscar Slaughter in my knees and stuff from, I guess, the growing too. And so it was really just, I was kind of going through pain while I was tall, but I don't know. I always consider myself tough, I guess. So learning and stuff, because in the classroom I was always pretty good, and I kind of just took that to the field, and pretty good at following directions. So just kind of caught on as I went, and watching people helped me a lot too. I like to watch a lot of either in person or videos. I like to pay attention to like details and stuff.
Now you mentioned that they had to teach you how to catch, which is it's funny seeing now you're a college receiver. Now, you know, more people would say, okay, the man's a college receiver, he would know how to catch. So now, like, what was that process like? And I guess like how were you catching the ball beforehand?
So when they would throw it up to me, and I was always good at going up and getting it and stuff like that, but the main thing was like the tracking part and like over the shoulder catches. I just lose it. I wouldn't like roll my neck and keep my eyes on it in the air and keep my hands apart. I just had to get used to like everything. Catching in front of me wasn't too bad. It never looked really the cleanest when I started, but I would make sure I caught the ones in front of me most of the time. But as far as like hand-eye coordination and tracking the ball and stuff, it's real important, especially when you're older. And I'm glad they taught me that at that age. So we worked on that a pretty good amount, and I think it helped a lot.
And the route running in the beginning, now, I imagine it's probably rough. Would be my guess. So on like a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being the absolute worst routes you've ever seen in your life, 10 being some of the most pristine, elite NFL level routes, where did you fall in that category when you first started playing?
Definitely like around 1, maybe 2. I was low. I was low. I just growing up, never did anything besides run fast in one direction. I didn't break down or turn my hips or nothing like that. So, I mean, like I said, fade balls and stuff were good. But other than that, I kind of was just being fast into like breaks and stuff, which was pretty sloppy. But I mean, I guess it worked a little bit.
So now, how long did it take for you to really become comfortable being a wide receiver?
Well, the thing was, my 8th grade year, whenever I got into football, I was a safety, and then I played receiver. But I scored like a couple touchdowns, but it really wasn't nothing like big or nothing. And that next year, I started playing quarterback, and the receiver thing was kind of out the drain. I really was playing safety, and that's what I kind of first fell in love with. So it was kind of just safety, and then whatever on offense is whatever. But I always could kind of throw far even before I played football. Like if we just find one, pick one up, I could always like throw it far in PE or something. And so I played quarterback my freshman year, and then that was the first year of high school and stuff. So sophomore year, we were kind of older, and I still wasn't fully like hip to route running and stuff like that. So at that time, it was pretty rough. But I mean, we were in high school, so it was easier with like other guys who were going to college or our coaches and stuff being there to like give you pointers and stuff like that. I always credit like the older people I've been on teams with helping me and stuff, and respecting them is like a big part, just because they know a lot more than you. They've been in football longer than you and stuff. So I like to learn a lot from them and listen to them.
Now, you mentioned that you play quarterback. So now I've always asked guys this because like Tony Barzell the fourth, he played quarterback in high school. How would you have described yourself as a quarterback?
I was good. I was pretty good. I was about 6'2" or 6'1" my freshman year, so I was starting to really grow into like my actual height, and then I could throw and I was fast. We ran some like a good amount of read and speed options, and I really did good at that. But we threw the ball too, and I would say I was pretty nice at quarterback. Like I could throw, I'd get it there and stuff like that. We won games with me and everything, but halfway through that year, I broke my arm. I was running the ball and I got hit with a helmet right to my like wrist area, and my arm broke. So after that, I came back sophomore year, and we had a new guy move in, and his dad was he was the head coach at SFA that year. And he ended up that year starting, and I came back and they were like, hey, we want to see you at receiver and stuff. So and after that year, he left to another school in like Utah or something, and like led Utah in passing or whatever. So he was good. I didn't have no problem letting him take that spot. I already knew when he was throwing the ball and stuff. I was like, oh yeah, he's the real deal. So he got that, and we became a pretty good duo. That's whenever sophomore year I really started to kind of see myself being a receiver and lean more towards the offensive side of the ball, because I mean I had a real good quarterback, so I started catching more touchdowns, and I don't know, it just gave me a rush. It was fun catching them.
Now, do you think if the arm injury never happened, you had stayed at quarterback, do you think you would be where you are now?
Nah, honestly not. I feel like playing that position, you gotta have kind of more resources than you would anything else. And I feel like at that point in stage of my life, I was kind of getting too old. Like, yeah, I was good freshman year and stuff, but I really wasn't having to do what quarterbacks actually have to do. Like, especially now that I'm at college, I see like it's by far the hardest position because there's so much, you got to know everything, every little detail you got to know. So I felt like playing receiver was real good for me because it's one of those positions where as long as you're an athlete, you can kind of catch on, and as long as you put the work in, like that's what I like to do a lot. I like to work by myself. So as long as you put the work in and focus on details, you can see yourself become better real quick. And I feel like at quarterback, it wouldn't have been that way.
No. Now, your senior year in Mangum. Now, I watched the tape. I have to say, it you mentioned earlier about Texas. It seemed like you was playing against grown men at the high school level. It literally seemed at times you were the grown man, and the DBs trying to make an attempt to cover you were the children at that point. Because you scored 20 touchdowns. Now, obviously that's not normal. Not everybody can score 20 touchdowns in a season. Some brothers scored 20 touchdowns in a 4-year varsity career. So, like, what was what was working for you your senior year? Because here you are moving to a different state and a different city, learning a whole different scheme, and here you are putting up 20 touchdowns.
Yeah, I could I guess credit that to Coach Powers again. Just the first time I met him and found out he was going to be my coach and stuff, he told me like off the rip, he was like, "You're gonna dominate this year and stuff like that, and no one's gonna be able to stop you." And he told us that as a team too, but I knew off the rip, like some games I would go out there and be triple teamed and stuff, and the rest of my team was good. Like we had good players everywhere. It was mainly seniors all over the field. I think 10 out of 11 starters were seniors, so in my class, and that had our offense going really good because if they triple team somebody, it just opens so much. So Coach Powers he made sure he got me the ball. He made sure I had film to use because he told me when I first met him, he was like, "If you want to play after this, you can, and I'll help you make it happen and stuff." And yeah, he did just that.
And what I found different, you don't see many like dudes your size with that speed. I mean, I know it was lower level, but like the level of separation you were getting on some of those clips, I was like, dang. Like I expect to see that out of guys like Diego, your smaller guys, not a dude that's like 6'4", 6'5" there. So like and you were also able, you're looser, you have moves, you have power. Would you say you feel like you're a complete receiver?
I feel like I was blessed with a lot of things that you can't really, some things you can't really work for, like height, speed and stuff like that. I can jump high, and I've always been able to jump high, and that's just kind of God given. I never really worked on none of that being younger or nothing. Right now for me, it's all just mental. I feel like physically, if I'm on the field, I'm physically and athletically one of the best people on the field, and I don't feel like I could be stopped until it comes to the mental part of it. And football is a real mental game, especially at the college level, which I've come to find out being at different colleges and stuff. Everything just makes a difference. Like every yard, like the way you turn your hips, the way you sink down, everything just matters. So what I've been working on hard this summer and this past redshirt year, which I'm thankful for. I'm glad I redshirted it. I got here late and stuff, so it was really no choice. But I feel like it did a lot for me because I just got to learn in so many different ways how to play the game different and get a different feel for it. And yeah, I just feel like that redshirt year really came in handy. I've been working a lot this summer on getting in and out of breaks and just the little things. I feel like once the little things are mastered, the physical side really starts to stand out because now you can do everything the little guys can do, and then you're big and fast. So I'd say I'm trying to get on my way there. I want to be the most complete receiver I can be by the time I'm out of here or as soon as I can.
Now you mentioned that you've been at various colleges. So now after Mangum, you went to NEO. So
Mhm.
now, what like now? Because a lot of people that go to JUCO, most of the time it's usually due to grades. But earlier you mentioned you were good in the classroom.
Yeah.
So then, why? I guess why NEO?
Well, yeah, I had a, I graduated with like a 3.7, so my grades were always pretty good, and I feel like my recruiting was kind of started off slow just because, like I said, once I made a Twitter, it just really picked up. Like it just happened so quick. Like I realized Twitter was like the probably the biggest thing I needed, and I got a little brother and stuff who's he's going to start his first year in college and stuff too. I made sure he knew it was a big deal and got his Twitter jumping and all that because he got all his offers his senior year too, basically like me. And so Twitter was like the biggest thing that probably happened to my recruiting process. And me coming out of Mangum, having that 1 year, I just felt like college coaches would look at the competition and that's kind of like what they were judging it off. Like you said, you can tell I'm separating and stuff like that. And I mean, I see it now when I look back at my high school film. I'm like, man, like I thought I was good, but I really wasn't nothing close to what I can be or what I am or anything. And I just felt like I got a lot of D2 offers and stuff out of Mangum, and I talked to a few D1 schools and stuff, but mainly all of them said was like they brought up the competition and stuff. And NEO was a college known for having a good defense. Like they get a lot of guys out of there and get them offers to big schools for defensively, like a lot of defensive backs too. And so kind of my thought process was if I could go there and knowing I had the COVID year, which was no eligibility, if I could go there and get some good like practice tape or good film against other DBs who like are like the truth and stuff like that, then I could get more interest and stuff. Because that's basically what they were telling me. They were like, we love your size, we love how you can run, but it was just the competition, I guess. And I went there and I found competition at NEO. I had a good time there. I spent one semester there, which was my mission. I wanted to stay one semester and get some offers and get out of there. And the coaching staff there told me they could make that happen, and they had made that happen for other guys. So I just believed in myself, and I came through.
Yeah, I mean that had to be a risk though, because you mentioned you had smaller offers. So like, because there is no guarantee when you go to the JUCO route. Like it's
Yeah,
almost it's a dog eat dog mentality,
yeah.
and like if you get hurt or things don't pan out, you're kind of up a creek. So like, what I mean, because you said that you believed in yourself, but like there had to have been some kind of serious thought about, okay, is this the right thing to do to pass up these other offers
Mm-hmm.
for something that I'm hoping it works, but it could go south at the same time.
Yeah, a lot of praying. I thought about it a lot. It was hard. Like I didn't know. I really was just still so young and kind of open minded. Coach Powers helped me a lot, but there was still so much I didn't know back then that I do now. So it was just a lot of back and forth with myself. But at the end of the day, I just thought and told myself like, just thought and thought hard. Like when have I let myself down on something I really want? And you got one life, so I felt like settling was something I didn't need to do. I don't know. I just felt like no matter what, I could try. We had the COVID year, so I would have all my eligibility, and as long as I stayed healthy and stuff, then I felt like no matter what, I was gonna do something. I just feel like talent can't be hidden or anything like that. So yeah, I just prayed and took the gamble, and yeah, it paid off.
So you go to NEO, it works. You end up signing with Prairie View. So now, like, what was your recruiting process like then after the semester at NEO, and then what ultimately led you to choose Prairie View?
I had a really good receiver coach at NEO who had a lot of connections with other colleges like Prairie View. And whenever I was, he knew I was wanting to leave that semester, so he was like, we got some tape together. I ran some like 40s, did some drills and stuff, and it was real good film and stuff. And he told me like he knows I could get something with that. And at the time I had gained weight too. I was looking real good and stuff like that. So he posted us, me and a few other of my JUCO teammates, like 2 or 3 of them that wanted to transfer out there and that had the grades and stuff. And he made a separate website and posted all our stuff on there, like height, weight, basically everything, all the drills and stuff. And after that, I started getting followed by people. And Prairie View, it was like the first day, I think it was, the site was up there. They hit me up and just asked for my number and called me. And basically they told me they never got a hold of my high school film or nothing, or they were telling me they wanted me out of high school. They would have took me out of high school, but they didn't even see me and stuff. And we had a long talk, me and Coach Bailey, who's the receiver coach there, for a while, probably like 2 hours about everything. And kind of after that conversation, I knew, I was like, I really liked Black history and HBCUs are important and stuff. So I was like, I could see myself playing there, and I felt kind of honored to go there and stuff like that. And I just felt like it was experience that I wanted to be a part of. I knew about Prairie View and stuff and the history and everything, just because I'm from Texas originally, and you're gonna hear about it somehow. Every time I wore like a jacket or anything around Texas, somebody would say something. So they run a spread offense too, and always put up real good numbers passing wise. So I just felt like it was a good fit for me.
And was there a sense of validation when you signed a letter of intent to a D1 program that was there validation, and was there a sense of relief that the plan I bet on myself, it all worked out in my favor? Or did you know that all of that would have come to fruition for you?
No, yeah, it was the whole journey was, I wouldn't say it was easy. It was a lot of stress, and a lot of nights I'd just be thinking hard about it, and just everything. You just think of all type of scenarios. Now that I've been to here and there and know a lot of athletes, it's kind of like a thing. Athletes always are in their own head. It's kind of like something you can't avoid. And it's like the worst thing at some points. But no, yeah, signing that letter and just seeing everything on social media unfold and stuff, and certain people who I guess didn't really see it happen. I saw them kind of like have no choice but to like, support and all that. So it was a real relief. I felt good. It's kind of like I got to where I wanted to go, but I felt like I wasn't done yet. So that was one thing I focused on, was trying to make sure I didn't get too comfortable or wasn't like, man, I made it now. And that's how a lot of people kind of ruin their careers. They get to college and just like, that's kind of was like their end goal, when you got to get here and it's just more work. Basically, that's all you're signing up to, is more work, and either you love it or you don't, but it's going to show at the end.
Now you all played that season in the spring. Now that had to have been odd, because you're used to playing in the fall. You're used to spring, it being signing day. You got spring football, and then that's it. So what was your experience like having a season during the spring?
It was kind of weird. You're not used to like just playing football in the weather it kind of was at the time. So it was just like, I don't know. It was, and then the season was only like 4 games, I think. It was real short. Like a lot of stuff got injured to COVID. We had a COVID test every other day. So we get swab on Monday, swab on Wednesday, swab on Fridays, and then if there's some on the weekends, they'd have the rapid test ready. And it was just a lot of COVID, like COVID this, COVID. There were so many rules. School was online, and then for a good amount of it, it was pretty cold. So it was just a lot of like, it was just a weird feeling. Like, you're just not used to football being at that time, especially games.
And so so, because I talked to Kellen about this, and he kind of mentioned all the testing and kind of all the uncertainty. So like, I mean, what would you say probably was like your biggest takeaway from that experience?
Not to take anything for granted. All I heard, like the moment I got to Prairie View especially, was how everything was so much different before COVID, and how like COVID did this, COVID did that, and they were all like, man, we should have enjoyed this and enjoyed that. And I was thinking the same. I was like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff like you couldn't do at all, like just because COVID was around, and some people were getting negative tests or positive tests and they weren't right. So it was just a lot of stuff going on at the time. And now I look at it, and that we got through it, I take it as just don't take nothing for granted and be thankful for everything you got. Like right now, everything's regular now. There's stuff you could complain about, but I stay positive about it because there's a lot more that could be worse.
Now, at some point there, after the season, you decide to transfer. So what led you to decide to look elsewhere to continue your college career?
Well, being there, I kind of feel like when I was at NEO, just because it wasn't season time and it was like off season and stuff. I feel like I kind of grew real close with the players and the coaching staff there, just because every day it was kind of like we had workouts, but we didn't have anything football related yet. So we would like wake up, go work out, and then go be on the field for like hours the whole day because there's not really nothing to do up there. So it was kind of like we were just locked in. And then when I got to Prairie View, that's when I got there, that was the first time I got to college and didn't really know anybody at all. When I got to NEO, I knew some of my teammates coming in and stuff just from other high schools or something like that. When I got to Prairie View, I didn't really know anybody. So the first couple weeks, like 2 weeks, it was kind of just working out, and then you have all your school online. So it was just working out and going home. And when you don't really know people like that yet, and I'm kind of like, I don't really get close to people too soon. I'm kind of like, I like to stay to myself a little bit. It was kind of like it kind of felt repetitive, just going to like football and then coming home and then going to football and coming home. And that was the first kind of rub off the wrong way, even though I really liked it at Prairie View, and I liked the coaching staff and stuff too. And I left on good terms. Coach Rice from NEO, who was the receiver coach here last fall, he was here, and we had always like maintained a relationship and talked and stuff. And I was doing good at practice at Prairie View and stuff, and I was enjoying it and all that. But I just kind of felt like something was off, and I was like 7 hours from everybody that I like knew really, and like my family and all that. And I knew kind of UCO was an option just because like my relationship with him. And then I got to a D1 program within that semester, so I kind of knew I had a little value as a player. And so I felt like I needed to at least weigh my options out. So when I entered the portal, it wasn't fully with the intentions of leaving Prairie View. It was kind of just let me like see what else is out there. And I felt like when I came on my visit here, just like the way the guys who were here treated me, and kind of the like vision and location, I really loved Edmond and stuff, and I just could see myself doing great things here. So that's whenever I decided to make the transfer up here.
And okay, now because at this point now, this is like you're like every semester of so far of college, you've been at a different school. It was NEO for the fall 2020. It was Prairie View spring of 2021.
Yeah.
Now you're UCO at the fall of 2021. Like looking back on that now, kind of having been at a place more than the semester, like does it kind of look a little bit crazy to you now, knowing you literally spent a semester at 3 different schools?
No, yeah, I knew. I kind of knew during the moment that it was gonna look a certain way, but I told myself when I transferred from Prairie View, I was like, that was another thing was the non-stability kind of. I was having to go back and forth, and if I want to see this person, have to go this way. If I want to see that person, go another way and stuff. And I kind of just told myself then, whenever I get here, like I'm in it for like the long run. So no matter what, good or bad, I was gonna be a Bronco and stay here and stuff. And it looks crazy now, but I always just think about it, and then I'm like, man, I'm glad everything happened how it happened. Like I wouldn't have wanted it any other way, because if it was any other way, I wouldn't have been the same person who I am now.
Okay, and so then you get to UCO, and then I think you mentioned before you came on. Now you had some issues trying to get was it clear, right?
Yeah,
Clear.
it was I had to get my transcript sent over, and the Prairie View's like system was messed up. The whole time I was there, the systems were kind of messed up. Like the cafeteria, you had to write names just because, I don't know, it was like some type of software bug or something. I don't know. But a lot of their systems for like schooling and stuff were down. So I was trying to leave there, and I couldn't apply to UCO or anything without my official transcripts from transferring, and those were on hold because I guess their systems were like messing up with my account and stuff. So it was putting a hold on my account to where I couldn't get my transcripts out. And that lasted like all summer. I was trying to fix that. And it's like 7.5 hours from Mangum. So I couldn't just, I was working over the summer, so I couldn't just like pick up and drive there and try to figure it out. Like, and maybe it gets figured out or something. And so eventually towards like the end of that summer, this is like me calling like every day, trying to get my transcripts out and stuff like that. And because at the summer, I was kind of indecisive. I had I left Prairie View, and I hadn't committed to UCO yet, but I took a visit and I was kind of sold on it. But at the time, I was pretty big. I was like 229 or something like that, and it was good weight. Like I was working out a lot and eating right and stuff. So I didn't know if I for sure wanted to go UCO, but there was a thought in my mind of going back to JUCO just because, you always want to I always want to push myself and test my limits. And this time I was planning on, if I was going to go to JUCO, I was going to be a kind of a tight end. That was my plan coming to NEO. I was kind of a tight end receiver, get recruited for both. And at the time I wasn't fully set on UCO, but I was like that's a for sure home it could be, and I like it a lot. But I had some big time JUCOs kind of reaching out to me, wanting me to come join their program and stuff like that. So it was a little indecision there. And the main thing with that is it was easier to get. I didn't need official transcripts to get into their junior colleges, but I did to get into UCO. And that thing was kind of a battle I couldn't win until eventually towards the end of the summer, everything got fixed. And I made my decision kind of a little before then that I wanted to go ahead and settle and down and go to UCO and stuff and succeed here. So
Now you were considering going back to JUCO. Now some would say you kind of tested your luck the first time when you turned down the other offers to go to JUCO, and you're about to do it again. So like at that point, did you kind of think like, okay, maybe this JUCO experience a second time might not be as fruitful as it was the first time?
A little bit. I was getting recruited by like Hutchinson and like Coffeyville, that Kansas conference, and they're like national champions and stuff like that. And I kind of me knowing that me taking a gamble and paid off really gave me a little more confidence to lean towards that way, because I was so much bigger and still like as athletic as I could be. And I just felt like people wouldn't be able to see a tight end like me in like JUCO and not want to offer me. But again, I was tired of like the moving and the non-stability, because that means, going JUCO means I got to go to another school. And, that's just, I was just like, nah, I want to find somewhere I can stay at and be a part of a program and grow in. And that's what I found here.
So you transcript finally comes through, you get to UCO, you end up redshirting. So now this is pretty much, well, because you practiced at NEO, there was no games. You pretty much practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, COVID year, you practice a lot of Prairie View. You get to UCO, it's more practice. So, like, at this point, kind of, like, how are you mentally through all this? Because here you're putting in all this work. You mentioned you gained some good weight, but you've been yet to really be able to show what you can do on the college level. So, kind of, how were you able to keep going throughout that time?
It was kind of hard. I had to just not playing, practicing so hard for something that can't happen over like years, which is what has been hard. But when you see yourself kind of take it to different levels and start growing, that's whenever my mindset kind of switched and everything started getting better after getting here so late, because my plan was get here and I wanted to try to play and stuff and start winning off the rip and stuff like that. And I started practicing here and I was like, another year, just more practice and weights and running and no games. And then I just slowly started seeing myself like I'm learning and getting better and like even better, because I called myself getting better after I left Prairie View, but I'm just seeing so much how I can get better and stuff. And I started seeing it as another blessing. And that's the thing. It's been a lot of blessing in disguise since high school or COVID, since everything. And that's what I took it as, redshirting again. And it paid off. We got new coaches and stuff, and everything's a little more different than it is now. It's just like everyone feels like a family. We all feel like we can win and stuff. So I'm glad I took the redshirt year. It kind of messed with my mind a little bit, but it worked out perfect in the long run.
Now, so you go through the redshirt season. Coach Bobek, he steps down. Coach Doral then comes in. Now, when Coach Doral first met with you all, what were your first impressions of him?
So Coach, he's a real good speaker. So he gave us a little speech, and everything he was saying, we were all just like nodding our heads too, kind of looking around like. So we kind of, and then his record is like crazy. So we kind of just thought like, man, we got someone in here, like this guy might be the real deal. He's just, everything he was saying was just kind of like music to our ears, and he hasn't let us down since we met him and stuff. Our coaching staff is great.
And your position coach, Coach Curley, what has it been like learning and playing for him so far?
He's definitely taught me the most when it comes to football so far of any coach. He's real easy to learn from and get along with. You don't get a lot of coaches like him. He's real young and stuff, but he knows so much about football and is so willing to spread his knowledge and wants us all to do so good. Like, I don't think, like, I could bet my money on our whole receiver room to make a play. I just think he, when you get coached like that, it's hard not to. Like, he's just a really good coach. I like Coach Curley a lot.
And now if my math is correct, now since you moved to Mangum, this will be the fifth offense you've had to learn, right? Because you had the one in Mangum your senior year, you had NEO in the semester you was there, you had Prairie View the semester you was there, you had UCO last year, and then you have the one this year.
Yeah.
At what point does this become information overload?
Well, I could say one thing: all the offensive switches and forcing myself to learn and being such a quick learner and involved in learning and stuff. I feel like my knowledge of football has spread so much because now, instead of only knowing how to run a certain route or how a certain route is one way, I kind of understand that we've run it this way and that way and this way in a certain offense for a certain reason. Because when you run routes, they usually tell you why you're doing it a certain way, like why you'll run your slant wide or why you're running it skinny. So I feel like all the coaching and the learning kind of piled up because this offense happened to be like the quickest offense I picked up on, just because I felt like everything he was saying, it wasn't foreign to me anymore. Like none of it was. I was just clicking quick. And so I guess I'm glad I learned all those offenses.
And so now you mentioned it's been quick, but like now what is that adjustment like going from the spread to now more of a pro style?
I feel like over the spring, they've showed a good mixture of getting the receivers the ball, trying our matchups the way we want them, and that's what they really drilled to us is matchups. They love matchups. If they think they have a better this than someone else, then they'll use that as their advantage. So, and I feel like we got some of the best backs in the conference. So I feel like no matter what, our offense is going to succeed this year, and we're going to find ways to get it going through the air and on the floor. And yeah, I'm just real confident with what we got going on here.
Now, because since you were there last year, you would know all the turnover that happened in that receiver room. A lot of guys left. There's some new guys in there now. So throughout the spring, how would you say that's going in terms of the group that's now left from last year? Like how was that? How was spring for you all?
There's so that was like the big thing was the when I brought up feeling like a family. Like last fall, there was a couple guys I never really spoke to or didn't really know at all, but now like our whole receiver room has relationships with each other. Like every single person is like personally connected with another person in that room and on the team in general. Like there's people who I didn't talk to last fall they're like one of my best friends now, and I just feel like our coaches and stuff, the meetings we have little breakout groups. I feel like stuff like that kind of really pulled us together, and the practices and workouts we do is really oriented on leaning on each other. And I just feel like that turnaround has been great. Like all the new guys, it's like every time we're talking about something, we forget that a guy who just got here wasn't here last year. It's just like kind of like we knew him for a while now.
And so heading into fall camp, what do you feel like you need to improve on the most?
Well, coming into fall camp, like I said earlier, I just really want to focus on the little things, because doing the little things right, from what I've seen and what I've experienced, overall leads into big success. And I feel like as long as I do the little things right, I'll be successful. I know that we're going to be a successful team, so I'm just excited for this season. No matter what happens, I know we're going to do good, and I'm ready for it.
And now this will be the first time, barring some unforeseen circumstance, you will actually get a chance to make to really make an impact at the college level. So now, what can UCO fans expect to see from you when you step on the field?
Well, when I step on the field, my mindset is always I want to beat the guy in front of me, because it's just a team game. 11 guys out there. If you do your job right, no matter what, something good's going to happen as long as everyone gets their job done. So if I got a post and don't get the ball and someone else gets the ball, I'm going to be happy, just as happy for them, probably more happier for them than me. I've never been really like a selfish or self-centered person. I focus on team success. So however the team does, hey, I'm going to be here cheering, and I'm going to be here ready to contribute as much as I can. And, if I get whatever chance I get, I'm going to make the best of it.
Now, I was told that now there was a bowling with the receiver unit. Now, so I have to ask now, who now, were you on the winning team, and who is the best bowler out of that unit?
I'm not gonna lie, Coach Curley probably got it. He was in there like he's constantly in there. I don't know if he practices or what, but I'm talking about he was striking everything down. Other than that, I'd say Cooper Lancaster. He golfed in high school and stuff too, so I guess he took up bowling as a side thing. They were on the same team, so they were kind of cooking us. I hadn't bowled in like a year previous to then, so I got off to a little slow start, but I picked it up. But I think we went 3 games actually. I think we got 1, but the other 2, they weren't even close.
Now, I've also heard now that Coach Curley tends to run the drills in practice better than you all. Now, that's got to be kind of like a pride thing, man. You can't let the coach that's not even playing anymore outshine you all in the drills here now.
Yeah, he'll be out there in his regular shoes and get to do it, just demonstrating it, and we'll just look around. We'll be like, "Chill, coach." He'll be out there going crazy.
Now also that because earlier you mentioned that you were always good at the 50-50 balls. Now you have a teammate, Peyton Lusk. Now after watching his film in high school, he's also good at the 50-50 balls. So now who is the better 50-50 ball catcher? You or Peyton Lusk?
P. Lusk gets up. He got some crazy hops. I don't know. There's some videos out there him doing some dunks, like some real crazy dunks. I could dunk too, but he's getting up for real. I don't know. I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him really get stopped at all. So I can't. Until one of us do, I guess I can't put a name on it.
Yeah. Well, before I get you out of here, we do this with all the new guests, kind of more of the get to know you type questions. So your favorite sports team?
The Green Bay Packers.
Okay. Now Dante is a Packers fan, and there's somebody else on there that's also a Packers fan.
Trey.
Okay, there we go. Now,
yeah, he's from Milwaukee, so he's from Wisconsin. So yeah, he's big on Packers.
Now I have to ask. Now, how does a Texas kid end up being a Packers fan?
It's really from Madden. I started playing Madden before I was watching football and playing it. So I don't know, something about the jerseys. I just always wanted to pick the Packers, and every time I picked them, it was always somebody that could throw good. So after that, I started watching football and only watching them, and then ever since then, that's just been my favorite team.
Okay, now we know the Devontae Adams trade happened. We saw the draft. They picked a couple of receivers in the middle round. Yeah. Are we feeling confident there's enough around Aaron Rodgers to finally get back to the Super Bowl?
I feel like no matter what, if he's out there, he's gonna make something happen. So, I feel like because Devontae was a second round guy. We had Jordy Nelson and Randall Cobb and stuff. I kind of feel like he complements them in ways other people kind of can't. So I kind of feel like no matter who steps in those roles, our offense will be pretty successful. They picked some good defensive pieces in the first round and stuff. So I feel like having a real strong defense again this year, and then he's on back-to-back MVPs. Him playing good, he'll continue to push offenses as long as the defense holds up. I think we can win a ring.
Yeah. And is Jordan Love the future?
I don't know. It's just because you see, Aaron Rodgers got drafted and sat behind Favre, so I don't know. It's just going to be one of those things where you just got to have to see it happen. Because I remember all the Aaron Rodgers hate and stuff too. Whenever he got picked in the first round, and people were real mad about that and stuff. They had Brett Favre, but you see how it worked out. So I don't like to rule nobody out. He could have been working, the whole summer and come back just on some other level stuff. He was real good in college and stuff. So I guess we'll see.
Okay. Let's see. Your favorite hobby outside of football?
I like to play the PlayStation. I got a PlayStation 5. So if I'm not doing homework or on the game or something, at football or working out, I'm on the game for sure.
Okay. Now, you answered my question of PlayStation or Xbox. Now, to my knowledge, only Xbox guys, it's your position coach. Coach Curley's an Xbox guy. Yeah. Coach Doyle is an Xbox guy. Yeah. And your punter, Bo Phelps, is an Xbox guy. So now, why are you team PlayStation over team Xbox?
I actually was team Xbox. I had a 360 when I first started playing like online and stuff. So I was an Xbox guy, and then PlayStation 4s came out, and I noticed at school, like everybody my friends, they all had PlayStation 4s, and there was no crossplay or nothing like that. So it was either get a PlayStation 4 or not play with my friends. And it's not fun if you're not with your friends. So
so it was peer. So it was pretty much peer influence that made you.
Yeah, I kind of had no choice. Yeah, I didn't like playing with just random people or nothing like that. And they'd always come to school talking about this and that, and I'd just be like, all right, bro, I was done. I was just gonna get a PlayStation. It really didn't. I just because my parents got me a Xbox, the first one I got, so it kind of wasn't my choice at first, but I stayed with it because I liked it and no other reason. But then yeah, all my friends had a PS4 and stuff, and I was like, yeah, I can't be left out.
Now, what I've been told now, Jonathan Mosley came on here, informed me he was one of the better Madden players on the team. Noah Dobson then came on here and said that was not the case, that Mosley has never beaten him. Now, I don't know if you're privy on the Madden scene within the locker room, but is the information true that Mosley is not as good as he came on here and said that he is?
Personally, I've heard about them going back and forth, but I've never seen them play. I can guarantee, though, and bet everything in my pocket on myself in Madden. I don't think anyone can beat me on the team at all.
Sure. Let's see. Okay. Your favorite musical artist?
I would say Lil Baby.
Okay.
Yeah. If I'm working out, especially, that's when I would like to listen to music, and he just makes stuff that I could just really lock in and get in the groove to. So, yeah, he's my favorite for sure.
Okay. You have a favorite song by him?
Humble, probably.
Yeah.
He's talking. He's kind of preaching on that song. So, I really listen to the lyrics and stuff, and it kind of inspires me when I listen to it.
Yeah. Now you've been there for a while now, so so you would know the pressure of that aux cord in the locker room. Yeah. Now, have you ever been on that and they have just yanked the cord out of your phone?
No, not me. I kind of think smarter because some people get like you can't get on the aux and play something kind of controversial. You gotta stick to the basics when you're on the aux a little bit, like because. No matter what it is, you could think it's the hardest thing ever. Somebody in there is gonna be like, "Bro, who's on the aux? Like, who's playing this?" And so, we listen in the weight room. We listen to a good amount of songs in certain genres and stuff. So, and a lot of them I know. So I make sure like when I'm playing music, it's like the right things. I don't just shuffle something or because that's a feeling you don't want to feel. I promise you don't want to feel that. When they yank someone's phone off and everybody looking at you crazy, yeah, nah.
Well, okay, what that's so everybody knows whose phone is like up there. I mean, so like you can't
when you're playing music, somebody will say that gotta be, and then 9 times out of 10 it's them. Like I don't know why I guess everybody put together and could just tell who listens to who more than what, or a certain song is somebody's favorite at a certain time, and you just know if you heard that same song twice, it'll probably be somebody like you'll be able to put your finger on it.
Okay. Now, what I've been told through I think Bo, Noah, and Hector. Now, I've been told that Steph and Robert Fuentes are two of the better guys on the aux cord. Now, would that be true? It is okay.
Yeah, if it's not them on the aux, something's gonna be said, but they more than likely they get it handled. Rob just has a problem of skipping a song with like a minute left, and everybody's kind of locked in, and then they'll just look where I think he did it today. Matter of fact, he skipped the song with Slater was locked into in the weight room. And then he skipped it, and I seen him quick. He looked at him crazy, and he was like, "What, bro?" But no, other than that, yeah, they got good taste. They're gonna play something that gets people live and up and jumping around.
Yeah. Now I've also been told that Jace Gardner is the worst. Would that also be a true statement?
I think, yeah. Overall, people are gonna. If you probably ask anybody, I got a wide music playlist, so I don't ever trip about what's on the aux, but I can vividly remember them saying that got to be Jace. I don't even remember what songs was playing, but yeah, I'm not the type to really trip about it. But yeah, I think you ask the majority of the team, they'll probably tell you.
But so like, what is it about the music that Jace brings to the table that is just so bad
I feel like there's just certain artists that you got to kind of understand music more than it just being like, beats and like get your head bobbing. You got to kind of listen to the actual music part of it, which a lot of football people in my experience, they're not really just big, music heads or into certain artists or something. And I feel like Jace is one of those guys he's got like a real diverse playlist. So 1 second everybody could be, like jumping around to what he got on, and the next time something else comes on shuffle, and they're looking around, they're like, bro, what is this?
Now, I was also told, I don't know if you were at the said workout where he was on the aux cord. I think there was the Baby song playing, and he went over and changed it to a Drake song.
Yeah.
Now,
I was up there. Yeah, okay. That's a good example. Stuff like that. I think that's why people would throw him in that category, because especially in the weight room, the Baby is just one of the artists that comes on pretty frequently because he just makes kind of the same music that it's kind of weight room oriented for us. So yeah, when you put on Drake, it's just like, you gotta be in a mood to listen to Drake, I guess. It's not like you don't want to squat like 400 pounds listening to Drake. So.
Oh wait, now when he put that on, I had to ask, what was that reaction to that? Now I imagine it probably was not good.
No, yeah, I don't usually react, but I looked up, like I didn't know what was. I was shocked. I was like, hold up, and this was a DaBaby song that I was like familiar with, so I was like really locked in and stuff. And I was like, hold up, but some of the guys, they reacted way worse. They went. I'm pretty sure they went over and snatched his phone off. If I can remember right, I'm pretty sure he got the snatch, because it's usually not a warning. You kind of just get one chance, and if you get your phone snatched off there, then it's probably ain't gonna go back that day.
I mean, I just feel like though, like at that point, the man was asking for it. I mean, who?
I don't know. Right? It was like mid workout too. I don't know. I don't know what was going on. He's got good songs. I like Drake and stuff too, but just the scenery and the timing was just not good at all.
Okay, so then do we think that Jace's main problem is not so much the songs, it's just the timing of when he plays the song?
Yeah, because I've heard some bad music before, but I've never really heard, because like I said, I listen to a lot of music and some of it is bad. Yeah, not that I listen to, but I just feel like the timing of what he plays is just like, you gotta, if you want to get, it's like a big handful of guys in a room. You can't just play whatever on there. We got a lot of blood pumping, people yelling and stuff. You can't just throw on Drake or nothing.
Now, Noah Dobson also told me one time he tried to slide a Justin Bieber song on the aux.
I didn't even know that was him. I'm gonna be honest with you. I know exactly what he's talking about. I didn't even know that was him. See, now you can't even really let him off easy for that. Like, I remember that. That was not it at all.
His reasoning that he told me is because it had Jaden Smith on the song. So
I don't know who was on it. I just know it don't really matter. I don't think if Lil Baby or NBA YoungBoy was on it, you got Justin Bieber out there, and not in the weight room.
Okay, so now in your time there, what has been the absolute worst song you've heard played on the aux?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a big country guy at all. That's one genre I'm not really hip to. I don't, especially in the weight room. And a few times, I don't know who's to blame. It might be Coach Van Kuren or something, but some country songs get slid in there. And I mean, some people in there, are vibing to it. That's where I guess I can't try to not include myself. That's when I'm looking around and I'm like, bro, like, what is going on here? Like, I don't know. I was raised in the country and stuff, and up here country music's big, but it's just something I just can't get into.
Now, also, I feel I'm getting asked because you're from Texas. I've asked Coach McGuire this. I've asked Coach Donald this. I've asked Kellen Culberson this. I asked Jalik Lewis this. Were you big on the rap scene in Texas? Because it's very big down there, especially in the Houston area.
Yeah.
So were you into the Texas rap scene?
Yeah, I was. I lived in Houston for 2 years when I was real little, like I think 5 through 7, and growing up in Dallas too, the rap scene is pretty big there. And my dad was he was big into rap music and all that, so he was always playing something in the car, whether it was like chopped and screwed music or stuff like that. A lot of Dallas rappers, like local Dallas rappers, he loved like the local rap scene, and I guess that's what we kind of gravitated to, me and my brother.
And do you have a favorite? Well, do you have a favorite Texas artist?
I'd probably say it'd have to be Zero.
Okay.
Yeah, he just all his songs too. Like I can't even name one. He's just got that. It's just you don't hear music like that anymore, and you probably won't ever again. So that just kind of stuck with me, listening to that with my dad all the time. Just growing up, like it was just one of those artists that everybody kind of has, that artist that's connected with a parent or something, and I feel like that was one of them, especially growing up in Houston. And my dad had a blue Cadillac and stuff too, so he loved playing his music loud, and he dropped the top on it and stuff too. And yeah, he was big on that type of stuff. So I feel like Zero probably, he takes it.
Okay. That's a very solid choice.
Yeah, mainly the chopped and screwed stuff though. That's what I like to listen to, which is one thing, I can't throw that on in the locker room. Not everybody's gonna, especially if you're not from Texas, but people like Rob and stuff. That's where we kind of clicked. I'm real close to Rob. We're both from Texas and stuff, so whether it was like music we listened to or just certain ways, people talk in Oklahoma in like certain small ways, just certain words they say that they don't in Texas, and we kind of just clicked off of that. Me and him did.
Shit, now I'm glad you mentioned that because I'm a big Houston rap guy. Prior to this, I met one person that also listened to Houston rap. It has been a very lonely experience. I'll bring up names. I bring up DJ Screw, Zero, Trader True, Paul Wall, so on and so forth, and I get blank stares. Now I'm glad that
you gotta know all those names you said. It's like a Mount Rushmore in Houston. Like you gotta know.
I'm so glad that we got Broncos that understand.
we got a few of them. A couple of Texas guys, not too many, but a few of them that definitely know about the Houston rap scene and stuff, but not too many though. That's why I said, I can't throw that on in the weight room or locker room or nothing. People would definitely because you just got to know. You got to know. Like they'll look at me crazy.
Yeah, because it is like a different. It's a different vibe. And I think with most. Okay, let's see. Do you have a favorite Zero song?
Mo City Don.
Okay, I think that was Coach Wires too. I think that was.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I want to say that was his favorite song too.
I gotta play around him then, see what he does.
Yeah, okay.
I ain't tell him I know yet. I'm probably gonna throw it on when he's in the weight room. See how he gets to move in his head.
yeah. Like if you chop it up with Coach McGuire and Coach O'Donnell, those are big H-Town guys. Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, now I have to ask this: now, old Lil Wayne or new Lil Wayne?
Oh, for sure. Sure. He's considered to me the best rapper ever, and that's just because kind of from like late elementary up, that's like all I would listen to was Lil Wayne, and he still drops good music now, but nothing's gonna beat his prime, which was a good little bit ago. But his songs from back then still, like, you can just listen to them on repeat, and kind of every line you're gonna find something new you didn't hear or didn't understand. So like I don't really compare too many guys with Lil Wayne from back then.
Okay. So your favorite food?
I would probably say fried rice and hibachi chicken. There's a place called Sumo up here, and even at NEO and Prairie View, it's kind of been my thing. a big plate of rice with like chicken and soy sauce and yum sauce and all that. Like I could eat that any day, every day.
Okay. Now, in terms of gear, now are you big? Are you like just give me the gloves, the shoulder pads, the helmets, let me go to work, or are you like some of your defensive backs, Trayvon Craig and Jonathan Mosley, that have to wear the bands galore and be swagged out? So, like, now where do you fall on that spectrum?
In practice, I would say I'm probably like a give me the gloves guy. I like to stay cool in practice, and I don't really feel like doing too much. But in the game, yeah, I definitely want to look up there with the top people on the field. I want to make sure I look good because I feel like if you look good, you play good, and that's something I kind of base myself on. So yeah, I like to put stuff together on game days and stuff, especially.
So now, what are your accessories of choice?
For sure, I'm gonna go long socks. I like my socks up high, like crinkled up to kind of like my knees. For sure on game day, and then depending on the weather, I like to either throw on 2 sleeves or maybe some bands. It's really just sometimes you go shopping or you're looking online and you kind of just put it together as you're going. So I definitely got to say long socks are getting thrown in though for sure, and I got to have a back plate on and a visor. That's like bare minimum. And then I play games with long socks, all that stuff on, and then like tape my wrists and then had gloves on, which is kind of pretty basic, but I could take it there if I want to, which, some games I might have to. We got some nice helmets and jerseys I feel like I can do something with.
Okay. Now, along those lines, now, because now when you got here, it was remember there was the blue helmets. Then they come with the white helmets, and then you wore the white helmets like the whole season. Now, are you hoping for a return of the blue helmets?
I feel like if we kind of mix in what we're doing with our helmets, that we could do a lot more. And I think that's kind of coach's ideas. I think he's been good at like asking us what we want in like kind of every scenario and getting our feedback. And a lot of us guys agree like different helmet combinations and stuff, which we have in jerseys and stuff would look good. And so I'm pretty sure we're going to have a little combination going between both this season. And I feel like I could do something with both of them on. So yeah, I'm ready for that.
And have the yellow pants been requested to be brought back?
Yes, they have. But
okay, good.
And I think I mean, like I said, the coaches have been good at hearing us out and getting us what we want. I think for sure in the future we're gonna have some yellow pants. I don't know how soon, but I know it's a big want on most of our lists just because like yellow pants, like it's it. Like everybody agrees on it, like yellow pants would be clean.
Yeah, because I didn't realize it because when I talked to Peyton Scott, they have not worn the yellow pants since like midway through 2019.
Yeah, he's one of the big leaders in the yellow pant movement. I think he wants to he wants it done more than most people just because he's been here and stuff and I think it's been like a kind of a big thing for him, and now that it's kind of towards his last stretch, I feel like he's going to definitely want those on.
Yeah, I mean, because like when I talked to Noah Dobson, he had no idea that there were ever yellow pants. I was like, wow, we have guys that didn't know yellow pants ever existed.
I think when they told Coach that, I think they told Coach Curley that, and he was like, I didn't even know we have yellow pants. And it was one of the older guys that told him, and then they started talking about it and stuff, and that's when we were like, oh yeah, and we saw some pictures of it. I think somebody pulled them up, and we were looking, we were like, oh yeah, and that's kind of whenever it started, which was it was a little earlier this summer, so I could hope for them. I think that'd be nice. I'd like to see them.
That's sad because because the yellow pants used to be a staple. Like it used to be at least half the season we was rocking the yellow pants. Man, that's
no, for real. And then you don't really see yellow pants from a lot of schools at all. So I just feel like if we could stand out wearing those, we could do something with them.
Right. Okay. Well, good. All right. Good. I'm glad that there's a movement there trying to get those back.
Yeah, we're gonna get them done one way or another, I think.
Okay. Good. Let's see. Now, do you have any pregame routines that you normally do?
Yeah, I like to when I walk the field, I like to get in the end zone and say a prayer, and then before the game, I like to stretch like almost every minute before I start, like real deep stretches, and just as much as I can, just because like when I first kind of started football, I was experiencing cramps and stuff like that, and stretching was just a good part of it. So now before like everything, especially games, I stretch for like a while. Like people will look over and be like, "Man, you still stretching?" I'll be like, "Yeah, I'll just be stretching real good."
And I noticed now that you got some ink there on your arm. Now, Trayvon, I know is a big tattoo guy. So,
Yeah.
like, where does your love of tattoos come from?
Well, my parents, they had tattoos, and I mean, they didn't have anything crazy or anything. But kind of being young, I always saw them, and I was like, there's a cool and stuff. And I feel like you can kind of tell stories with the tattoos you got, or and things of that nature. So I don't know. Just all I can remember, I always wanted to get tattoos, just nothing crazy, just a little bit. Like I just got half my arm done and stuff, so I want to probably finish this one and kind of chill after that.
So what would you say is your favorite tattoo?
I would say it's this right here on the front of my arm. It's a dove in the sky with 3 stars, and the 3 stars I wanted to represent my brothers because they've been like the brightest part of my life. They like through everything we always had each other and stuff. And the dove I got for my mom, who's kind of led us the way and like been there through everything for us. And that tattoo kind of represents, like, those are like the strongest parts of my life. And so yeah, that would have to be my favorite.
Now, earlier you mentioned you have a brother that I think you said is about to start college. Now, I have to ask now, out of your brothers, who is the best player?
Me.
I knew it, but I had to ask.
Yeah. I can't. I'm not gonna give. I won't give any of them that for sure. But yeah, my little brother, he's in summer right now. He's at Tyler Junior College. He's gonna be playing tight end there, and he's gotten a lot bigger and stuff too. So I'm ready to see what he can do, and maybe one day he can come up here and be with us. And I think there's a possibility of that. But nah, I can't give him the edge over me in anything. Basketball, foot race, football. I can't give him it.
Oh, man. Well, I guess my final question for you would be, do you have a message to those out there that might still be on the fence about coming to see you all play, about what they can expect to see if they were to come see you all play?
I feel like this year, you kind of gotta either come enjoy it right now or hear about it, because we've been doing a lot of things. We've been working hard, like real hard this whole summer, whole spring, building, getting stronger, getting better as a team. And we all have the same main goal, which is winning. Like from the coaching staff to the players, it's the main focus point is winning, no matter what, being a team and stuff. So I feel like having support in the stands filled would be amazing, and would help us even more. But no matter what, I think as a team and a unit, we're gonna go out there and perform and be successful and do everything that we dream of accomplishing. So the more fans we get, the better, and we love them, and we really hope people come out this year and are as fired up as us, because we plan on putting up a good show and a performance.
Well, Bryceton, I appreciate you taking time this afternoon to come on and talk to me. I really enjoyed our conversation. A lot of people probably might not even know that you're actually there. They just don't think you've been listed on the roster. So I think this will be very good. And wishing you the best of luck rest of summer in the fall camp. And anytime you want to come back on, you're more than welcome to.
Yes, sir. Hey, it's been great. It's been a great conversation. I love talking to you too. And yeah, I think we're gonna have another one of these, and hopefully a lot of good things have happened since then. I think it will be
great. Well, again, thank you, Bryceton.
Yes, thank you very much. I appreciate it.